They like you.
I like them.
Thanks so much for coming.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate your being here. And I'm going to ask a number of questions. I thought we might start with something I've been asking everybody, which is about the Supreme Court decision on gay marriage. And after it was announced, you said that Americans must realize that it is now the law of the land, but that the government must never force Christians to violate their religious beliefs. So, you must know that there's going to be a wave of litigation coming as Christian schools, adoption agencies, and other institutions are sued to try to force them to accept gay marriage. And the question is, what would you do to help them?
Well, first of all, let me just state right off the bat that I have nothing against gay people. And, they're welcome. They're welcome to have free association like anybody else. And they're protected by the Constitution like everybody else. However, like everybody else, they don't get extra rights. And they don't get to change everything for everybody else. Having said that, and I think that's what we have to encourage our Congress to recognize, that over the last few elections, we, the people, have sent many of them there not to be spectators of the executive branch and the Supreme Court, but to recognize that they have a responsibility to create the right kind of legislation. And that's what I would be encouraging them.
And so what can a president do to help in defend what's called religious liberty for all these institutions?
Well, I think, first of all, you can use the bully pulpit so that instead of inflaming the situation, you actually shine the light on the situations where that's occurring. And we also can apply all kinds of economic pressures in the right way, because this is a country that is Judeo-Christian in its origin, even though the president doesn't think so. But we're the ones who get to decide what kind of nation it is. And that means making absolutely sure that we shine the light any time that there is a group that is bullying somebody who has a legitimate religious conviction and trying to make them change that function.
The whole homosexuality thing, I would just sort of summarize it by saying, I would love for the gay community to answer this question for me. What position can a person take who has absolutely no animosity toward gay people, but believes in traditional marriage, that would be satisfactory to them? Very happy to compromise, but I haven't heard an answer to that yet.
Dr. Carson, you have said that you wish as much attention was paid to the rights of Christians as to gay rights. Regarding Religious Freedom Restoration Act laws like the ones in Indiana, where do we find the balance between the growing right of gay marriage and the rights of Christians to oppose and not take part in those ceremonies and weddings?
I think we apply common sense to take care of those problems. But the other thing that's going to be important is courage. You see, I believe that everybody is covered by our Constitution and the constitutional rights. I don't care what their age, their race, their sexual orientation, they are protected by our Constitution. But the Constitution doesn't give any group extra rights. It doesn't tell anybody that they get to make extra rules and that they get to force everybody else to believe the way that they believe. And, once we begin to understand that, I think these kinds of situations clear themselves up. Some people think that I hate gay people, that I'm a homophobe. I'm not. Jesus Christ was not a homophobe. Jesus Christ loved everybody, regardless of their lifestyle, but he offered them other ways to do things. I think, it's a free country. People can do what they want to do, but they don't get to change the definition of marriage, which is between one man and one woman. And I'm concerned by the fact that we're not paying attention to the Constitution the way we should. The Constitution tells us that civil matters should be handled at the state level, not at the national level. And the reason for that is because there is direct responsibility of the legislators and the judicial people to the people of that state.